Hey, kia ora. So, got a bit of wind. And because I was helping a friend out, yeah. Anyway, um, I've been sitting here kind of reflecting. I'm at that part of my training now where I'm in the ether. So I'm looking down at my journey to see how far I've come since like my birth, what I've learned, what mistakes I've made, what I've had to correct, what I've had to let go of, what I've had to learn, what I've had to like correct, all that sort of stuff. And I was thinking about my career and all the incredible people that I've done readings for, all the incredible cases I've gotten to work on, all the people that have trusted me with the most vulnerable parts of who they are. They've let me be a part of that experience, and that's such a blessing. I've learned so much from every single interaction I've had with every single person that's come into my life in my career, and it's helped me forge something that I can use to help people when they're at their most vulnerable from such a young age. But I was thinking about all the times I've had to say to people who were contemplating suicide, how I would always say to them, you don't have the right to die if you haven't even given yourself the chance to live. And until you've done everything you've ever said you've wanted to do, if you've tasted every food, if you've gone to every country, if you've had every experience you ever said you were going to have in your lifetime, if you gave it all a go and got to the end of your list and still felt like you were unfulfilled and wanted to die, then, at least you can say you gave it all a go, you know? The meaning of life is to find meaning in life. We're so busy trying to be perfect, we forget we're here to be purpose. Everything happens in your life for a reason. There is a purpose for it all happening. And you kind of just have to roll with the punches. When you have an ascension, when you're, trying to just be a better version of yourself, there comes a point when you look back and say, but did I give it all a go? Because, I was agoraphobic for over 25 years. I was morbidly obese. I was scared of everyone and everything. I was so afraid of being the wrong version of myself for people that I forgot how to be the right version of myself for me. And there comes a time when you just kind of have to realise that you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be the perfect version of yourself for everyone, because everyone has a different version of how they see themselves, how they see you for themselves. If people don't like who you are and they try to change who you are, it's usually because they don't like what they see in themselves. You're reminding them of something they don't like in themselves. And that's a horrible pressure to put on a person, because you're never going to live up to the best version of who they want you to be if you're not the best version of who you are to yourself. And the best relationships to have, I was saying to my friend today, the best relationships to have are the ones that balance out your imperfections. They don't care that you get stuff wrong. They don't care that you're not good at anything. They don't care that you sound a bit nuts and live in a fairyland in your head. They don't care about who you are to them, they care about who you are to yourself, because they understand that the journey you're on is one that you're doing together. And that I said to my friend, it's like the best kind of friendships are the ones where you're like two bowling balls going down the same alley to knock down the same pins. You don't know where you're going to go on that journey together. One of you might go off into the gutter, one of you might knock all the pins down, you might knock half the pins down each, you both might end up in the gutter, one of you might end up behind the pins, one of you might end up knocking one pin down. Like, you know, the possibilities are endless. But you kind of appreciate and understand that whatever journey you're on is going to be your own, and I'm never going to control that journey you're on. I'm going to appreciate it's the journey you're meant to be on, but I love you and respect you enough to be on that journey with you. And even though neither of us are going to know where we end up at the end of this alley, we do know that we're going to end at the end of the alley together and pick up right where we left off. The best relationships are the ones where you balance each other's imperfections, because you stop trying to be the best version of yourself for everyone else, and you just start being the best version of yourself for you. And you might be grumpy, or you might be honest, or you might be a bit reckless, or you might be a bit imaginative, or a bit too hardworking, or a bit airy-fairy, or a bit lazy, or a bit fidgety, or a bit whatever. You just kind of accept that's who you are, and you love them anyway. That's just how it is. They're the best relationships to be in. And it got me thinking about how I give people all of this advice and I don't follow it myself. Have I been living my best life? Like, have I done everything I always said I wanted to do? And I'm nowhere near it. I was agoraphobic for so many years. I stopped myself from living my life because I was too afraid to live my life. I was so busy trying to be so many different versions of myself for other people that put too much pressure on me. When people realize you're not perfect, it's hard to accept that it doesn't matter what you do. Some people are never going to see you as enough. But you also kind of accept that that's the journey you're both meant to be on, that if that's the outcome of the relationship, then there was a meaning for it to happen, there was a purpose for it, and you respect each other enough to know that you were just a part of each other's process. You bring balance to each other's imperfections, and if that means that you let each other go, or that you fight for the relationship, it'll be whatever it's meant to be, based on whatever it is you both want from the relationship, because you come together to balance it out. And whether that means that you balance it out to close off a cycle, or you balance it out to correct something that, you know, needs fixing in the one you're in, it's going to be whatever it is. You both get thrown down the same alley together, but you both trust that whatever happens, you're in it together. Imperfections and all. Because you trust each other enough to show your imperfections to the ones who don't judge you for them. So I want to give it all a go. There's so many things I want to do. There's so many foods I want to try. I'm going to be bad at half of them, especially my pottery. I really want to do pottery. I tried it as a kid at school and I absolutely loved it. There's just something I love about the feel, the way that my hands feel on the clay. Like when you dip your hand in the water and then on the clay, like the texture of it. I want to learn how to take photos, and I want to learn how to cook like foods from other countries, and I want to learn a little bit. I want to learn to be able to say hello and thank you and goodbye and stuff in other people's languages. I want to learn how to grow my own herbs, and I want to learn how to do Latin American dancing, and I might just learn one dance and I might burn my food, and my cakes when I decorate them are certainly not going to look how I want them to look in my head, but the point is I'm going to give it all a go. I might give something a go once and not like it, and I might give something a go once and absolutely fall in love with it, but I'm just going to give it a go, and if I suck at it, then I found the purpose and I found the meaning for me doing it, and I take it as a lesson and a memory and move on. Move on to the next thing. And there'll be things that you do alone, there'll be things that you bring your friends and family along for, there'll be things that you watch your friends and family do. But it's not always about you. Everything that happens in your life with the relationships that you have with the people in them, you control the outcome, but you give over to the process. It's kind of like the universe says to you, right now, you're going to have an ascension and you have to absolutely let control over the outcome of everything that happens in your life. But trust that whatever it is that we bring to you is happening for a reason. There is a purpose behind it. You have to find the purpose behind it, and then you have to find the meaning behind it. And what you learn from that experience will dictate what happens next. You control the outcome. So I'm going to give it all a go. You know, and whatever the outcome, whatever the experience, whether I break it, blow it up, burn it, stitch it together the wrong way, whether it falls apart, falls down, explodes, catches on fire, drowns, sinks, whatever. My friends know that whatever happens, they're with me, alongside me, watching me screw up and being there to pick up the pieces when I do. But I'm the exact same way with my friends. Some things are worth forgiving. You know, if you're meant to be in a connection with each other, whether it's as friends, lovers, family, work colleagues, neighbours, whatever, it's going to be whatever it's meant to be. And if it's positive, there is a meaning behind it, there is a purpose behind it. And if the lesson or experience was negative, there is a meaning behind it and there is a purpose behind it. But you look at the role you play in it, and you are honest with yourself, and it's like, okay, was that me? Was that me that did that wrong? And you have to be honest and say, you know what, yeah, I could have handled that way differently. I need to correct that. And the things that you're meant to fix, you will fix. And the things you're not meant to fix, you won't. But you kind of trust that whatever happens, it's happening for a reason, and you don't control the outcome because you can't control the meaning or the purpose behind it. You can't control what it is you're meant to learn because you don't know what the universe is going to put out in front of you that they don't want you to see until it happens. You just trust the process. So there's lots of things I want to try. There's so many places I want to go to. I want to leave good memories. I want to leave good memories for the people that I leave behind. And I want to take good memories with me when I go. I want to know that every relationship I've had in my entire life's process helped me find meaning and purpose. Helped me see my flaws. Helped me admit that I have them. And doesn't blame me when they realise I do. the best relationships, the ones that don't ever try to control you or the outcome of the relationship. They just let it be whatever it's meant to be. They're the master relationships. Every relationship I have is my best one. That's how I see it. My best sons, my best friends, my best colleagues, my best soul tribe, whatever. They're my best. They're helping me be my best, and they're helping me be okay with the fact that sometimes your best is good enough. That there's no such thing as perfect. You are who you are. They're the best relationships. Some things can be forgiven. If you respect each other and love each other enough, you find a way to work it out, Faults and all, ride or die. They're the best relationships. Thelma and Louise's, in it together. Whether you knock pins over or end up face down in a gutter. Which may be possible sometimes with me. It depending on my mood and if a drink reveals my true feelings. But I can guarantee you sometimes I'm going to be trying, all my friends know, and they can't judge me for it too. I tell them straight out, I want to try ayahuasca and peyote, and I want to experiment on myself with organic drugs and see what happens with my gift. My friends are just going to have to accept the fact that sometimes I'm going to try something that's going to alter my state. I'm going to give it all a go and record the outcome. I want to see what happens to my gift. Only organic stuff though. Only organic stuff, never chemicals. Scientific purposes, of course. But my friends know what I'm like. They know I'm a unicorn. Half of them are unicorns too. I've been talking to my niece, and sometimes I get scared to be around my family, and sometimes I miss them dearly, and I've kind of started making contact with some, or they've been making contact with me, and we've been slowly establishing relationships with some of my nieces and nephews, and it's been emotional, because I grew up with the 5 elder ones, and I raised the next 100 that came after that, so some of them are like my siblings and some of them are like my babies. And I was talking to my niece about her 2 dogs being her son's familiar, and I was saying the reason why that one's the way it is because that's your son's guardian dog, but the other one's here to learn a lesson. He obviously did something in a past life where he's got to come back and be your son's familiar to learn a lesson. And I said, it could have been an ego thing, or maybe he let people die or something like that, so now he's got to protect your son as part of his redo, his past life penance, so to speak. And I'm talking away like this, talking about, because of his sign, he's going to be like this and he's going to be like this, and he's got familiars because, he's carried that trait in our bloodline where whatever it is he does, he's going to use his gift to do it, and all this sort of stuff. And it was so cool because, I was talking like this, and she didn't even bat an eyelid. She just kept talking and joined in. Didn't even bat an eyelid. And it was nice to be around people who let me do the occult stuff because they live it too, because they're my family. We all have the same gift. And it was just nice to be talking to someone where I could just talk about that side of myself and they understood because it's that side of them too. So that was nice. slowly but surely, you know, slow and steady wins the race. Sometimes you can have falling outs with people and it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, you know. Sometimes people just need a time out. Sometimes we do it because there's lessons we have to go off and learn on our own. The perfect relationships are the ones that aren't perfect. But you trust each other and understand that whatever the process, you're in it together and you'll come out the other side together. So that's what I've been thinking about and looking back, you know, now that I'm at the ether part. No regrets. I don't want to have any regrets. I don't want to get to the end of my life, which could be by the time I upload this video, you know. Memento mori, one day I will be dead. Give it all a go. Whatever it is you want to give it a go. And just trust the process. Don't try to control the outcome to anything. Just trust that the universe is going to bring to you everything and everyone that is meant for you. Because what is meant for you will not pass you by. Whether you have fights with each other or whether you stick to each other like glue, you're in it together. Good or bad. So that's what I've been looking at. My relationships, my work, my imperfections. I love the skin I'm in because my friends love the skin I'm in. You know? It's a bit saggy, it's got some scars. It's got some stretch marks and freckles. My boobs that were once necklaces are now anklets. But it's me. It's who I am. It's perfect that I'm not perfect. My friends know I'm not perfect and they're not perfect either. Oh. But the good ones help me pick up my boobs and throw them over my shoulder. So I don't trip up when I walk. Anyway, but introspective there, just thought I'd talk about what I think the meaning of my life is. So, yeah, just thought I'd share. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.